Morning, everyone. Welcome to Principles of Marketing. We are now at our 14th week, and for week 14, our topic is about professional selling. So, for this week, we will describe the sales cycle and the role of salespeople, and also study the common ethical challenges salespeople face. So, let's proceed to our discussion. We have here the role of salespeople. So, for professional selling, salespeople act on behalf of their companies by doing the following. Sorry for that. So, we have here creating value for the firm's customers. So, if we create value, we mean we create sales. Normally, salespeople sales. That's the bulk of value they deliver to the employees. There are other ways of how they deliver value as well, but it is how much they sell that determines most of the value they deliver to their companies. And another salespeople that do or act is managing relationships. So because their time is limited, sales representatives have to decide which account they have the best shot at winning and which are the most lucrative. So once a salesperson has decided to pursue an account, a strategy is devised and implemented. And if a sale happens, the salesperson is also responsible for ensuring that the offering is implemented properly and to the customer's satisfaction. And last, salespeople act on behalf of their company is relay customer and market information back to their organization. So normally this one, sorry for this one, salespeople are the boundary spanners in that they operate outside the boundaries of the firm and in the field. As such, they are the first to learn about what competitors are doing. An important function is to report back to the headquarters about other competitors' new offerings and strategies. So similarly, salespeople interact directly to their customers and in so doing, gather a great deal of useful information about their needs as well. So these are the roles of sales people. So next one that we have is professional selling skills. So let's discuss professional selling skills. So for professional selling skills, these are the skills needed by salespeople. Sorry, once again. So we have here setting meeting objectives. So for this one, the best salespeople probably make fewer sales calls but better ones. They understand that the best persuasion techniques in the world work much better with some planning behind them. They focus a lot of effort on preparing for a call. They determine the logical next step for each meeting. Then, working backwards, they think about what they need to do to make this outcome a reality. They look at every idea they come up with from their customer's perspective as well. So that is one of the skill. Another skill is of course state of mind. So if you are in a good state of mind, your language will flow easier. You'll gain rapport instantaneously and you will sound more convincing and you'll get the information you want faster. The skill is being able to master your state so that it doesn't matter if you've just been booked for speeding, had an argument with your partner, or been in a car accident as well. When you walk into the sales meeting, you are focused on the client. Another skill is establishing a connection with prospects. So, rapport is the process of establishing and maintaining a relationship of mutual trust and understanding between two or more people. So, for this one, you have to make sure that you have a lot of connection to your target market and prospects as well. So, by doing so, if you have a connection, make sure that you establish a good one. Another skill is time and self management. So for this one, most salespeople are out on the road often without someone to keep them organized. Top salespeople plan their time, and so usually, how do they plan their time? So they use their diaries extensively. So meron silang mga planner or diary. They also focus on the priorities. They are disciplined. They remember to bring their sales aids with them. Always be prepared sila. And they carry changes for the parking meter or motorway. Also, they have business cards with them. Lagi silang handa kasi of course you'll never know kung kailan mo makikilala si prospect or si client. Kaya laging ready with the business card. And they always carry a pen and notebook just in case may makilala sila or they needed very important information. So they may write it down on their notebook as well. Of course, they are always on time and they are very organized. So ito yung mga professional selling skills. Another skill is listening. So listening skills are essential if you want to be a good salesperson. Listening shows respect for your client. It also allows you to hear what's really important to them and to spot needs when they arise. It allows you to learn more about the customer themselves. So if you know how to listen well, basically, you know uh, kung ano yung mga kailangan ng kliyente mo at paano mo sila matutulungan. Also, we have questioning. Excuse me. For questioning, the questions you ask your prospect should be aimed at finding their pain and how big a problem it is or what they stand to gain from your offering. You can then ask questions that focus on the effects of the problem, which in turn focuses the prospect on all the benefits they would gain in solving the problem or making the change. So for questioning naman, kailangan alam mo din kung ano yung importanteng itatanong mo. Dapat straight to the point and it should be related to the selling or the offering that you are discussing to your client or to your prospect. Language. So, successful salespeople are very good at the use of language. You can often spot an elite salesperson just by listening to their language. So, for this one, of course, kung professional seller ka, hindi ka gumagamit ng mga words na parang salitang kanto or salitang kalye. Of course, you have to be very professional at the front of your clients or customers. Handling objections. For this one, uncovering and handling objections is one of the most important professional selling skills a salesperson can have and is covered elsewhere on this site. So, of course, hindi naman laging may benta, hindi din laging umuoo si customer. And they always, sometimes, nag-o-object din sila. So, you have to accept it professionally as well. And also, if you have a prospect or a client na sa tingin mong uh, they have a what do you call this? Yung parang informal approach towards you. So you have to object them as well. Another professional selling skill is closing skills. So there are hundreds of closing methods. The one listed below are used often. So basically, paano ka ba magko-close ng deal or paano ka magko-close ng sale? So ito yung mga questions. So we have this, parang tatanungin mo sila, do you know the order bank close, alternative choice question close, Ben Franklin balance sheet close, scarcity close, minor point close, treasure perceiver close. So there are so many selling methods or closing methods pag makikipag-deal ka na. So usually, you will take uh, of course, their name, their important details, address, contact number, very important yon. And then, kung kailan kayo ulit magmi-meet and make sure that ikaw ang a-assume agad ng oras and date and make sure that when you have this closing deal, um, you have to make sure na very interested si client or si customer. So for this one, for example, you are selling a particular lot or house and lot. So of course, you're going to give your business card and then so on and so forth, get the important details of your client or customer. And then when you are about to close the deal, so you have presented the aids that you have or the visual aids, make sure that ikaw na ang magsasabi na, okay, maraming salamat po ma'am. So, uh, sasabihin mo na agad, on our next meeting, I will expect you to bring the amount, ganito ganyan. Make sure na kailangan dala na ni client ang amount and then ikaw na magsasabi ng oras, see you at 9 a.m. sharp at this particular address and then make sure to bring this one and this one. And sasabihin mo na dadalhin mo na yung mga items or the documents needed for the selling. And last one is practice. So for this one, the most professional salespeople practice all the skills mentioned above. They practice until they are masters at them. It's not just enough to know what the selling skills are, they need to be practiced and honed until they become a habit, until you can do them without even thinking, until you are unconsciously competent at them. So, of course, practice, practice, practice. Kailangan ma-hone talaga lahat ng mga professional selling skills na nabanggit natin. So, next one that we have is types of sales positions. Sorry. So, we have 4 types of sales position. We have the missionary salespeople, trade salespeople, prospectors, and account managers. So, for missionary salespeople, this this type of sales position calls on people who make decisions about products but don't actually buy them. And when they call on individual, the relationship is business to business. For trade salespeople, they are someone who calls on retailers and helps them display, advertise, and sells product to the consumers. For the prospectors, these are salesperson whose primary function is to find prospects or potential customers. Prospectors often knock on a lot of doors and make a lot of phone calls, which is called cold calling because they do not know the potential accounts and are therefore talking to them cold. And last is account managers. And for this one, they are responsible for ongoing business with a customer who uses product. A new customer may be found by a prospector and turned over to the account manager, or new accounts may be so rare that the account manager is directly responsible for identifying and closing them. So once again, these are the types of sales position. We have the missionary salespeople, trade salespeople, prospectors, and account manager. Um, we also have types of sales relationship, and customer relationship is very important because some buyers and sellers are more interested than others in building strong relationship with each other. So generally speaking, however, all marketers are interested in developing strong relationship with large customer. So, di ba sabi natin kanina, kailangan mag-establish ng connection with prospect. And once you have established the connection, there is a very great possibility that they might be your customer or potential customer. And once you have gained their trust, um, you should have a good, strong relationship for this one. So we have types of sales relationship. We have the transactional relationship, functional relationship, affiliated selling relationship, and strategic partnership. For transactional relationship, each sale is a separate exchange at the two parties to each have little or no interest in maintaining an ongoing relationship. So that is transactional, a separate exchange. For functional relationship, These are limited ongoing relationships that develop when a buyer continues to purchase a product from a seller out of a habit as long as her needs are met. And for affiliated selling relationships, these are more likely to occur when the buyer needs a significant amount of expertise needed from the seller and trust is an issue. For strategic partnership, it is one in which both the buyer and the seller commit time and money to expand the pie for both parties. And the level of this commitment is often linked to a marriage. So for this one, since strategic partnership, parang give and take kayo. So kung gusto mo, for this one, uh, kailangan both buyer and the seller should commit time and money to expend yung pangangailangan yung dalawa. So these are four types of sales relationship. For selling strategies, we have script-based selling, need satisfaction selling, consultative selling, and strategic partner selling. For script-based selling, these are salespeople who memorize and deliver sales pitches verbatim when they utilize a script-based selling strategy. So script-based selling is also called can selling. So ito, memorize na nila yung script nila at paano nila i-discuss yung particular offering. For need satisfaction selling, the process of asking questions to identify buyers' need and problems and then tailoring a sales pitch to satisfy the need satisfaction selling. For consultative selling, to many students, need satisfaction selling and consultative selling seem the same, but the key difference between the two is the degree to which a customized solution can be created. In consultative selling, the seller uses special expertise to solve a complex problem in order to create somewhat customized solution. And for strategic partner selling, when the quality of the relationship of the buyer and seller moves toward a strategic partnership, the selling strategy gets more involved than even consultative selling. In strategic partner selling, both partners invest resources and share their expertise with each other to create solutions that jointly grow on one another's businesses. So these are the selling strategies. We have script-based selling, need satisfaction selling, consultative selling, and strategic partner selling. Now, let's discuss our sales cycle. For sales cycle, we have four important key components in your handles or PDF file. So this is lead, suspect, prospect, and customer. But I have searched a more broad sales cycle stage. So for first stage is prospect. The second stage is contact. So prospect and contact is your lead. Qualify is suspect, and we have nurture for the fourth stage, and make an offer and handle objection if the offering is being objected, and if the offering is being appreciated and you are about to make a deal, then it is about the time to close the deal. So for this sales component, or the sales cycle, it is the basic unit of measurement indicating how long it takes to close the sale. So once again, we have lead in your PDF files or handouts. We have lead, prospect, and customer. We also have sales metrics used by salespeople. So for this one, the key metrics salespeople are evaluated on are the revenues they generate. These revenues are measured to determine if a salesperson is pursuing customers that are the most lucrative. So we have the conversion measures, and conversion measures are extremely important measures. Conversion ratios measures how good a salesperson is at moving customers from one stage in the selling cycle to the next. So for this one, we have the sales executive and the sales manager. And Ano ba yung ginagawa ng sales executive and sales manager? For sales executive, they track the same metrics as individual salespeople, but at the aggregate level. If many salespeople are struggling at the first stage of the sales cycle, then additional training or marketing may be needed or a new strategy is necessary. Salespeople also look at the firm's sales relative to their forecast in order to spot possible trends. A firm's sales trends affect many of the other decisions the company's executives have to make, including manufacturing and output decisions. So this is for our sales executive. For sales manager, also they have to manage your company's selling costs, and sales manager are often responsible for the firm's sales at its profit levels. So these are the sales metrics or sales measures used by salespeople, the conversion measure. Excuse me. We also have ethics in sales and sales management, and salespeople are, for the most part, caring and ethical professionals. They do face unique ethical challenges because of their job, including how to handle unethical requests from customers and making sure that they know and follow all the company policies for interacting with customers. So we have common ethical issues for salespeople. The first one is a customer asking for information about one of their competitors who happens to be one of your customers as well. So, example, a customer holds the information about their business, and the salesperson may hold the information such as how many cases of the product they purchase or who their customers are, but the salesperson does not have the right to share the information with the customer's competitor. In many instances, a buyer may ask the seller to sign a non disclosure agreement because the seller will gain access to uh, important private information about the buyer. But even if there is no agreement, the seller has the obligation to protect the buyer's information. Number two is deciding how much to spend on holiday season gifts for your customers. So for this one example, the gift is considered as a bribe. In some companies, buyers are not allowed to accept so much as a free cup of coffee from a seller. These companies do not allow their buyers to receive promotional items such as a pen or coffee cup with the seller's logo on it because they have every vendor to have the free access to sales opportunities and earn a business on their merit, not their freebies. Another situation is a buyer asking for something special which you could easily provide but aren't supposed to give away. So, example, customers may not know that their special request could get the salesperson in trouble, and the request may be reasonable just against company policy. This issue is very tough for salespeople because there are two factors involved. So, ano tong two factors? A possible violation of the company policy and providing an unfair advantage to one customer. Another situation is deciding to play golf on a nice day since no one knows if you're actually at work or not. So ito very unethical to, not just playing golf but also doing some things that are not related to work. So, example, this issue's question is whether the salesperson is cheating the company out of time and effort. Some argue that the salesperson is paid straight commission is not stealing anything from the company, but others argue that even in that instance, the company is being deprived or possible sales that would be gained if the salesperson was working. So, for this one, these are the ethics in sales and sales management. So for our week's references, we have Principles of Marketing from Mindshaper School by Pereda P. Also Unlimited Books, Library Services and Publishing Inc. K-12 BEC ABM Standard by Serrano A. We also have suggested readings by same again, Principles of Marketing from Mindshapers and Co. So for your requirements, we have activity 1 and activity 2. For activity 1, we have to answer the following questions. We have 3 questions. And for activity 2, we have marketing application. So I will not require you to do activity two, which is marketing application, but I will just require you to answer activity one. So discussing questions or first question as a customer would be important for you to know how much your salesperson was paid, why or why not. And for the second question, should salespeople be responsible for handling all their customers' complaints, or should customers be told to call the departments responsible for the customer's concern? For the third question, based on the lesson discussed, what are the five questions you would want to ask in a job interview if you were interviewing someone for an entry level sales position? So these are your activities discussion question. So once again, for this week, we had describe the sales cycle and the role of salespeople, and also study the common ethical challenges salespeople face. And we have learned all the professional selling skills one salesperson should be have. So before ending this lesson, I would like to say thank you everyone and share a Bible verse from the book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 23. Said Jesus, everything is possible for one who believes. So thank you so much once again, everyone, and God bless.